Hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar. This is Pooja and I'm a part of CodeGround. So in today's session, we're going to discuss the know-how of hiring talent across various positions in an organization. Recruiters employ various tactics to attract the best talent to their companies. We'll find the best practices and strategy to stay on top of the latest recruiting technology and trends. So for every company who wants the best employee possible, but does every company actually know how to find the best employees there? Particularly challenging is the fact that the hallmark qualities of candidates are extremely difficult to evaluate. How do you explore a candidate's ability to innovate and think creatively? How do you determine if he's a team player? How do you diagnose his or her ability to take constructive feedback? How do you actually investigate someone's very moral fiber? There has to be a very thorough research that goes into understanding what matters to the young bloomers and the old Xers. As we go on with our presentation, you can feel free to raise any query or type it in your suggestions and inputs. We'll have our talent acquisition head answer these questions at the end of the presentation. You could also get in touch with us after the webinar and we'll be happy to cover anything that hasn't been talked about today. We're going to be trying and keeping the session for about 30 minutes. So let's just get down to business. On the agenda today is a discussion on finding the right fit for your organization, starting right from the CEO to the clerk. Now, finding the right employees for a particular job requires an effective system that not only acquires the employee of a company's choice, but also sets the new employee for a smooth transition into his workplace. For this, we'll discuss recruiting right from sourcing, assessing, to retention. We'll tackle the webinar in two parts due to the sheer volume of valuable information that we have to part here. We'll cover technical, marketing, and top management roles in this webinar, shortly followed by another webinar discussing sales, customer service, and clerical roles. So, as a recruiter or a hiring manager, do you often feel that you might be too reactive when it comes to making a successful hire? Do you spend most of your assessment process centering around relevant skills in the hope that your prospective hire will be able to hit the ground running? Or do you feel short-handed in providing quality candidates all the time as per your job requirements? And if that is not enough, with today's skill gap, you may find yourself struggling to find the candidates you need for a particular position. Filling these skilled openings may be a humongous task if left to deal on your own. But despite all of this, if the entire process is strategized and well thought out, then the giant can be slayed one position at a time. So why is it that no one size fits all? Methods for sourcing candidates varies heavily according to the job positions, industry, and practices. Develop a better strategy for recruiting for your company through daily recruiting career tips, technology reviews, and recruiting trends from CodeGround's recruiter portal. Now, they usually consist of practices such as online recruiting, holding hackathons, campus recruiting, and the development of strategies that are tailor-made specifically for your roles. The technique behind each method typically outlines the specific recruitment channel that will be used for each process. Online recruiting channels include job boards and social networks, while college recruiting programs may include holding campus recruiting events, developing university relations, and hosting internship programs. Each recruitment channel can be judged on its efficiency by various metrics, such as number of sourced candidates, the total cost of the hire, the long-term success of every hire. Hence, it's extremely crucial to understand your recruitment and tackle each recruitment need differently. We will, as we go ahead with our presentation, discuss several tips and avenues that are best suited for hiring for very specific roles. However, we ask every recruiter to use their own discretion and choose the right combination of skills and avenues that fit perfectly with your requirements. So whatever works actually works, right? But why is it that some of us spend a lot of time trying to squeeze blood out of stone? We feel that there are many sourcers and recruiters spending too much time focusing on low-yielding candidate sources. For example, some people spend countless hours searching the internet for candidates at the expense of not heavily or efficiently leveraging their internal resume database available for that matter. So while you can certainly find great people on the internet is not indexed specifically to enable sourcing, and it requires many tricks and tweaks to yield relevant results. So bearing in mind all of the above, let's first look at technical. Hiring software development talent, like real talent, is a multifaceted skill that lies at the crossroads of social networking, technical acumen, process management, and intuition. Anyone who has ever had hiring responsibilities understand all too well the extent and the depth of the hiring challenge. A common pitfall is to heavily focus too much on technical minutiae rather than evaluating the candidate's ability to problem solve, to think creatively, and to work compatibly with the rest of his team. Now, let's look at some of the key skills that you as a recruiter should look out for. Sound technical knowledge. Now, mobile and web development will continue to grow as the majority of internet users access the web via smartphones and tablets, etc. So, this momentum shows no sign of slowing down as the digital market is in demand now more than ever. Developers and responsive designers will be faced with making the application and products or experiences that are both easy to use and aesthetically pleasing to deliver a top-notch customer experience. Update up to date with the latest technologies. The skills employers demand today often depend on the size of the company and sometimes the industry as well. However, what has to be inbuilt here is this immense thirst for knowledge. They have to be updated on the cutting edge of what's either very popular now or what's on the rise. Great candidates show that they are staying relevant, they're current on new trends, and are always keen on learning. Ability to troubleshoot. A must-have tech skill when hiring someone really involves being able to troubleshoot. It also shows that they're not afraid to think critically, do some research on their own, and take initiative to find a solution of their own. The fighting spirit is what you should keep an eye out for. The bonus of technical writing skills. Now, situations may require the tech guy to explain complex things in a way that's easy to understand for the sales or the marketing guys, or maybe even for the company's blogs. You might have to send messages to clients or manufacturers, write press releases, web content, or manual for your clients, etc. Now, candidates who can articulate complex technical concepts and strategies into a language an average business person or even a content writer for that matter can understand will always be an added bonus. Decision making. So, the ability to see multiple viewpoints and accurately gauge the probable outcome of potential business decisions and then to advocate them for a particular direction are in great demand today. Planning and prioritizing. Detail-oriented, forward-looking, innovative, and creative thinkers are a major asset for global businesses. Now, who must decide how and when to devote limited resources to projects. Understanding of client requirement. Candidates aren't really expected to know every answer, but they're expected to know how to look for and find the answer to complex business and technical questions. Data analysis skills. Now, with big data taking the world by storm, companies are now looking for qualified professionals who can gather, store, analyze, and interpret that massive amount of information being dished out by buyers on a regular basis. Project and time management. Project management here might not exactly stand out as an essential technical skill, but it's no less crucial. Without effective project management, security, data science, development projects, etc., are likely to stall, or organizations will struggle to maintain focus and agility in the face of shifting priorities. Teamwork. So, candidates who can work well with others demonstrate effective teamwork and will always have a great career edge. They should be those who can go beyond working in their area of expertise and who demonstrate big picture thinking, take leadership roles when necessary, and work with colleagues for the greater good of the company. Now, such guys are a great asset to any organization. In the end, it is extremely crucial that you're a recruiter. Remember, if you want to build a world-class development team, you need more than one superstar. You don't want to blow off all your resources searching for your Superman. You want to be gathering the Avengers here. Now that's because the best software isn't built by one person. It's created by the best and the best of the teams. And having one star and a bunch of second tier programmers can actually be very destructive. Here are a few tips to run you through effectively source and attract quality candidates to your organization. Show them that the big important problem that they're going to solve. Now, if you want to attract great talent, provide an opportunity to solve cutting edge technical challenges with other exceptional technologists. Get personal quickly and introduce prospects to the team early in the process. So when you found someone you really wanted, make sure that the candidate has actually spent time with a group of his or her future peers. Now, once they actually get to know you, your what's and all, share in the excitement and optimism of the team, it becomes more personal to them. Build a long-term relationship with the community. Now, you don't want your only communication with the industry to be we are hiring. You need to go all out of your way to find a relationship with the community of talent, whether they're working for you or not. The possible suggestions could be let your employees blog on technical topics, you can host meetups at your office, etc. Basically, have efforts to maintain your reputation in the market. Engage the community in solving a problem. Here, you can actually go with the technique used with contests, such as hackathons. Now, if the contest is fun enough and challenging enough, and there's value in participating in the contest itself, not only will you attract great tech talent, but you'll quickly be able to see who's the best of the best. Take your company's culture on a university tour. Now, sponsor workshops at universities where you can hold the attention of the students instead of competing for the attentions with others at the usual career fairs, etc. Lower the entry level or the expectations and offer trainings for those positions as well. So, gone are the days where training was expected after hire. Now, it's almost impossible to find an entry level position that requires zero experience. And as a result, expectations have been raised too high for such openings. Learn with sexy tech and the promise of training. More and more developers are interested in brilliant technologies like, for example, Ruby and Scala and HTML5 and other open source tools, etc. So just make sure to let potential candidates know that you develop in the awesome space and that you actually do train as well. Be eager to hire candidates with 80% of the qualifications. Use the 80-20 rule here. If a candidate has 80% of the skills that the job requires, then they are qualified. Hire them. They'll learn the rest 20% and be the 100% whole in a whole shorter period than it would actually take to find the perfect fit here. Write a job description with realistic expectations. Hiring managers have a tendency to write job descriptions about the most ideal candidates, asking for the iRobot 2.0 version of a candidate, when in reality, the job may actually not require that much of skill sets. Doing that is just simply absurd. The war for developer talent is hotter than ever. Whether you're trying to build mobile apps, redesign the user experience on your public website, or are you keeping business critical applications on the cutting edge, everybody needs code. So here are a couple of strategies to get you started. Social sourcing. Leverage a social platform where your prospects already spend a lot of their time. Sites like LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook offer unique tools to proactively find your next great hire. Also, pursuing open source projects such as GitHub and SourceForge, etc., can yield highly qualified candidates. An added benefit to this approach is that it allows you to see and evaluate a candidate's code samples even before making a decision to make in contact with them. HR and recruiting leaders need to embrace the idea of workforce planning. Having a forward-looking hiring forecast allows a company to fully utilize the network capability of LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google as well. Job boards sourcing. You can also leverage most online job boards to proactively source your candidates. Look for the option to search or source the job boards, resumes, database, etc. by using common keywords your prospects would actually be looking for. Do not run overly generic or basic searches for that matter. If you run generic searches with perhaps one title and a couple of keywords thrown in here and there, you'll be sure to get correspondingly generic and basic results. Hence, it's extremely important to mix it up. Campus recruiting. It provides a platform to pick the best candidates for different job profiles. Besides getting a wider choice, the employers also save a lot of time in recruitment. Most of the young job seekers are talented and are ready to accept challenges as it comes. Also, the selection ratio is much higher in campus recruitment as compared to any other form of recruiting activities. The secret weapon in the tech recruiting today are hackathons. Notably, in campus hiring, hackathons has emerged as the top event for sourcing quality engineers. Now, something that started as a college-level tech event has evolved into a massive branding and hiring opportunity for several companies. The venture capital community has also taken notice of the recruiting angle of hackathons. Third-party sourcing. Third-party sourcing involves using a placement agency or a headhunter to find qualified job candidates. These third-party sources use various techniques and tools to find appropriate job applicants, such as extending offers of improved salary compensation or a more flexible or a beneficial package that suits their needs best. Networking events, both online and physical. Now, though attending career fairs and networking events in person can be a very valuable experience, let's all be honest here. They also cost a lot of time and money. So, hence, it becomes extremely important that there's a lot of planning and prioritizing involved in here. Recruiters need to shift their focus from reactively filling positions to proactively building networks of talented passive prospects to fill their future positions. If they're doing their jobs correctly, their best prospects need to be contacted before the requisition is officially even opened for the position, and not after. Let us now work out some of the top ways to assess a candidate for technical roles. Quality resume search. So, if you're hiring a person for a technical role, apart from being very specific about the IT key skills they have, for a better team spirit and leadership quality are the other things that you need to be looking out for. Being a recruiter, you need to focus on the job requirements by digging more selectively into the key skills provided in the resume while doing the resume search. Get specific to the roles during the interview. So once you've narrowed down your list of potential candidates, look out for details in the interview process about their experience. Ask extremely comprehensive interview questions very relevant to your very specific requirements. Focus on how they manage their time between technical and business tasks. Assessment of technical and soft skills. Skills assessment should not come with an approach of one size fits all. To add to the mixture, it's tough to find candidates that possess and excel in both IT and business skills. So it's important to get the priorities right and decide beforehand what technical and soft skills to look for before you actually get ready to make that hire. Focus on IT skills. You can evaluate a candidate's IT skills in a number of ways today. Like you can have a tech person from your company who can easily do a technical screening of the candidate's resume and conduct technical interviews. It's important to make sure that the IT person is there to assess the candidate's level of technical aptitude and knowledge for that very particular domain and not to actually talk about pay and other subjects. Leveraging online assessment tools. Try assessing a candidate's technical skills by asking them to take the skill assessment tests. And it will help in finding the best fit for your positions this way. The impact of this kind of online assessment programs being highly utilized is that it actually lessens the unnecessary interviews and can considerably better the quality of your hire today. These days, however, most companies are conducting virtual campus hires, etc., with the help of online assessment platforms on softwares like CodeGround and HackerRank, Interview Mocha, Tech Gigs, etc. So this paces up their hiring process with ease in a very cost and a time effective way. So now we understand that the cost of a new hire is extremely consuming, and most often than not, the solution is to reduce the attrition rate. So if they are the best people, make sure they know it. Leave nothing to chance. Acknowledge their contributions and recognize them for their work and overall value to the team and the organization. Offer a competitive benefit package that fits your employees' needs. Now, providing health insurance, life insurance, and a retirement saving plan is essential in retaining employees. Provide small perks. Maybe throw in like a free pizza on a Friday or provide cab pickup or movie noons, etc. So these might be like insignificant to you, but if they help the employees better manage their work-life balance, then they will appreciate it much better and will be more likely to stick around. Promote from within whenever possible. So give employees a very clear path of advancement. Employees will become frustrated and may even stop trying if they see that there is no clear future for themselves within the company. Create open communication between employees and the management. Hold regular meetings in which employees can offer ideas and ask questions, etc. Have an open door policy that encourages employees to speak frankly with their managers without actually having any fear of any repercussion for that matter. Make sure employees know what you expect from them. Now, it may seem basic, but often in small companies, employees have a wide breadth of responsibilities. If they don't really understand what their job entails and what you need from them, then they really can't perform to the standards. And the very morale may begin to dip, and you never want that. So what we're going to do here is understand what InMobi did to digitalize their campus hiring season for technical roles via an online assessment tool. The challenges. How to differentiate between the good and the better coders. Now they were in need of a skill-focused simulator-based test to evaluate the candidate's coding abilities in the greatest detail. How to deliver these tests with time and cost efficiency. How to churn out immediate results when the candidate have actually appeared for the test. The results here actually, InMobi's first campus recruitment drive was successfully concluded with up to 20 developers and 10 odd QA engineers hired. Thousands of man-hours were saved with the help of the automated reports, which were ready to be used in question banks and with remote proctoring, etc. It improved the time to offer the hands-on coding assessments, filtered relevant candidates for the interview round. It improved the campus branding for improved candidate experience. It also lowered the interview costs by filtering higher quality candidates at the same time. Marketing and branding roles. So when you hear a brand's name and it generates positive feelings towards it, then somewhere there is this branding manager who's doing his or her job correctly. A brand manager is concerned with creating a long-lasting perception about the brand on the consumer's mind. A marketing or a branding manager studies and tries to understand the current market trends to kind of grasp the needs and requirements of the customer in the current market scenario. He also ensures that the right message about their product is sent out in the market to the current as well as the potential customers. Now let's look at some of the key skills required for a marketing or a branding role here. Staying ahead of the pack. One of the must-have for a branding or a marketing manager is the ability to presume the future market tendencies and a good intuition about the upcoming market trends. Excellent communication skills, both written and verbal. Now, technical skills might get you the job, but soft skills such as good communication skills will actually make or break you as a manager. Analytical skills. A branding manager needs to make prompt decisions by analyzing the available information, by using logical thinking to make the best of the situation at hand. Emotional intelligence. Now, this is one of the factors which distinguishes between a great leader and the people who have elevated in the organization based on simple hierarchy. Social intelligence quotient. Now, with the rise of digitalization today, the levels of human interactions have come down in great scales. In such a scenario, effective social skills will increase the empathy towards the employees, the response time as well as quality among the managers. Storytelling skills. A marketing manager is a person who works with the imagination and the expectations of the existing as well as the potential customers. The individual should be capable of harnessing the fantasy and the vision of the customers. Flexibility. Employees who are flexible in their work timings and can easily handle multiple tasks given at hand. Not only do they just talk, but they actually walk the walk. That kind of energy is required in a spirited workplace. Positivity. You need to have like a positive attitude to bag the managerial position, but you also definitely need to have a positive attitude towards becoming a successful leader. So once you're done assessing and highlighting your needs in a branding or a marketing branding or a marketing manager, you can start the recruitment in a more simplified and a focused manner. You do not need to go through each and every resume sent your way. Eventually, you can actually pick up candidates that's only appropriate for you. Following this, we'll discuss the various tips and techniques that you can use for sourcing the perfect candidate for your organization. Define the position. A job description will spell out duties and responsibilities of the job. Once a job description is actually prepared, it can serve as the groundwork for examining or interviewing candidates, orienting a new employee, and finally in the evaluation or the job performance. For the applicant, however, having a clear and a crisp job description allows them to understand the responsibilities and duties they required and expected of them. Look for key technical traits. Now, with the rise of the digital age, and the marketing era has changed a lot in various ways. Hence, the marketers should be aware that the technical abilities is, even though not a message, however, it is like a powerful medium to broadcast your messages. Usage of catchphrases and keywords. Now, there is a lot of platforms and websites as well, which are like publications which a recruiter can use for the recruitment procedure. However, the way these methods and platforms are, changes etc., that result in a continued outcome. The field in which you type the job title should always comprise of the keywords and the catchphrases that the candidate will use to search for any available jobs. Look for experience. Now, a marketing manager is a person who deals with customers in a first-hand basis and gains more knowledge and experience with each and every customer he handles. So an applicant who has various experience in handling customer needs not only requires the extensive training and instructions as compared to a fresher, but he'll also have help save the organization a lot on time and costs. Integrate HR strategies. Now, experts are predicting that HR technologies consolidation and cross-platform expansion will continue this year and also in the years following, but at a slow and an incremental pace as talent acquisition technologies shift into new areas and prospects. All the other segments need to be integrated as well to bring out a more substantial growth and productivity level. Here are a few sourcing strategies that are known for providing the best results. Job advertisements. One of the most frequently used recruitment technique for a business is job advertisements. It's either placed both in local as well as national prints as well as online publications as well. Now, by clearly cataloging points like the job description and your ideal candidate's qualification and experience and requirements, you may also stop the applicants that are unsuited from applying. Using keywords and catchphrases in your ads is fundamental for search engine optimization and to ensure the highest ranking possible in Google. Internship or apprenticeship. An intern is like a prospective employee that you can actually test drive within your organization. Interns are good for more than just coffee runs and mundane work. They offer a few, like a fresh perspective, not to mention extra pair of hands on marketing projects that are increasingly catering to a much younger demographic talent. So at the same time, interns are an inexpensive resource as well. Their salaries are significantly lower than staff employees. You aren't actually obligated to pay a package in situations where you don't really need to hire them full time. Social media advertisements. So with the accession of internet, marketing has reached a global level. It was easier to connect with people across countries and continents without facing any kind of geographical barrier. Then Facebook came into the picture and became the game changer in the usage of internet as a socializing tool. Even though there's a lot of cynicism amongst various recruiters about Facebook, however, if used correctly, then Facebook advertising can be extremely helpful. Now, some things that you need to keep in mind are methods of using Facebook Insight, the correct utilization of the Power Editor tool, and the spunky planning of the custom audience, etc. So once online portals are there today in the market. Now let's take an example of CodeGround here. CodeGround is an online assessment and an evaluation tool focused on helping recruiters in initially screening of potential candidates from an ocean of job seekers in an automated way. With CodeGround, recruiters can create an online test and invite candidates. After that, candidates can actually take the test in what is called a proctored environment, which simply means with cheating prevention mechanisms in place. The recruiter gets a detailed report of the evaluated results based on their requirements. This, along with brand promotion, campus drives, etc., are few of the offerings in CodeGround's end-to-end hiring packages. They also have a lot of material like white paper, presentations, webinars, etc. on recruiting to guide HRs through their hiring process. Talent rediscovery. So the number of hires is increasing, which means that recruiters are going to be receiving more applications from more roles across various boards. Now, for high volume functions, recruiters receive more than 500 applications on an average. Now, once these applications enter an ATS, however, the majority of them are never really looked upon again. The ability to quickly, easily, and accurately assess and screen the resumes of former applicants for a current opening has long been desired by several recruiters. So, assessing is such a crucial step. This is like this template you can use for your hiring activities. Performance assessment. So, the candidate can be evaluated in various ways, such as a 360-degree appraisal, ranking methods, checklists, etc., to rate the candidate's performance as per the requirements. Compare the expected and the accomplished results. Every job designation requires some responsibilities and activities on behalf of the employees. The results that are expected from the employees should be compared with the results that they bring in to evaluate the level of performance of the employee. Questionnaires. Now, a customer understands the behavior of a marketing executive better than the assessors. Hence, the patrons should be encouraged to give their feedback and suggestions throughout the questionnaire, if required. Psychological tests. A selection procedure consists of various closely supervised personalities as well as psychological tests, which will help in understanding the personality traits of an applicant. It can be compared with the recruitments and the wants of the organization as per the future performance of the candidates, and as well as the kind of the behavior that is expected from the prospective employees within the organization. Various tests such as aptitude tests, achievement tests, intelligence tests, occupational tests, etc., will give an idea about the personality and the dimensions of an applicant, such as their extroversion, their emotional stability, their openness to experience particular experiences, etc. Background analysis. One of the most common phrases that's been around for many generations is to never judge a book by its cover. In terms of recruitment, it means something really unique. When it comes to selecting the best candidates to work for, going deeper than just the face value should be a routine practice. In more competitive job markets, individuals are more prone to embellish or hide certain aspects of their histories in order to appear more attractive to the recruiters. While some of these actions are fairly obvious to the trained recruiter, not all will be easy to spot until the actual background check takes place. Online assessment portals, again here. So companies can reach out to a large number of prospective employees previously left unexplored because of resource limitations such as a time and a personnel availability, etc. The question can either be custom made or selected from a vast library authored by subject matter experts. So apart from technical tests, the platform has provisions to take candidates on an array of skills like language proficiency, aptitude, etc. So psychometric testing is also catching up in India for various reasons, including making up for the lack of measuring the intangibles. This system actually gives the flexibility to companies to reach out to international prospects as well. Performance in stimulated scenarios. So as the customers and the clients vary from each other, the business scenarios also keeps varying accordingly. Put the marketing executive in various simulated scenarios and plots which will show their reaction time and attitude. It can be judged whether it matches the company's expectations, image, or not. Language proficiency. So the executive should be able to deal with a wide range of clientele that the organization deals with. He or she should have the proficiency in different languages which is suitable for the client base. Social media awareness and efficiency. Social media has become an important player in marketing since the emergence of various platforms like Facebook and Twitter, Tumblr, etc. The marketing executive should have the proficiency in social media to dive into these platforms and use them in the most productive way. Also, their awareness and presence in social media can give a clear picture to the recruiter regarding the individuality of each employee. Feedback. So the employees should be given feedback from time to time to keep them updated about their performance and the expectations that the enterprise has for them. Suggestions. The top management should never mince their advice and should give suggestions to the employees whenever required to improve their performances. After the toil of doing all of the above, the entire fort would collapse if effort is not made towards the retention of the candidates. Hiring a great set of employees is just a stepping stone to creating a strong and productive workplace. Employee retention adds to the long-term health and successful turnover of an organization. Fair and unprejudiced treatment towards employees. Now, build and maintain friendly relationships within the workplace. Animosity between co-workers leads to jealousy and these cliques that form cutthroat attitudes, unnecessary drama, and unwanted problems. The moment you sense negativity and negative feelings between people, sort out the matter as soon as possible. Clear set of goals and objectives. So the company's vision, its mission, and goals should be extremely clear and very crisp to the employers. Any sort of ambiguity regarding these might baffle the employees, which might affect their performance due to a confusion regarding the things that are expected from them and their actual performance here. Opportunity to learn and grow. So the employees will feel that the workplace has become a mundane place for them if there is no chance of learning new things and growing within. Some changes are required to avoid meeting a dead end and to grow big and to becoming more stagnant. Acknowledge and reward good performance. Monetary bonuses are always nice, but recognition actually goes a long way to creating goodwill and loyalty. In order to retain talent, you must make them feel appreciated, respected, and worthwhile. Performance appraisals to deserving candidates is a must. Perks and benefits. Customer offering stock options or other financial awards for the employees who meet the performance goals and stay for a predetermined time period, etc. Also provide meaningful annual raises if you can afford it. Give more to your top performers. Providing health insurance, life insurance, and a retirement saving is a bonus that has become more of a necessity today. Here, we're going to be seeing how a position that called for marketing skills were filled. A 100-year-old accounting firm based in southern Maine needed to fill a position that required a candidate with multiple skill sets, including the ability for marketing and sales. The firm did not have like a defined marketing process. It did not articulate its goals to its staff, and it lacked the key measurement tools. They did not really have crucial insight into their customers, including the lifetime value of the existing customers. They also didn't have customer and prospective profiles to help them identify and likely source of the new customers. They had no sales, no CRM, no process, or prospective lists in place. So how to churn out immediate results when the candidates have appeared for the tests? That became a huge pain point. The results. So 19 Oaks helped the job description and hired the sales and marketing professionals and provided the onboarding and training into the new systems. 19 Oaks created an annual strategic sales and marketing playbook with content calendars which outlined the actual plan. This completely changed the game and increased their productivity. Top management. An excellent manager taps into their talent and resources in order to support and bring out the best in others. An outstanding manager evokes possibilities in others. Finding employees is hard and getting harder all the time. In today's economy, hiring the best people is more crucial than ever. Entrepreneurs can't really afford to lose time, money, etc., that result from a bad hiring choice. The cost of finding, interviewing, and engaging, as well as training new employees, especially at the top level, can be very steep. The assessment of the top management is majorly dependent on the evaluation of the turnover of the company. For example, the conglomerate giant of India, the Tata Group and founders Ratan Tata has been evaluating and assessing the performance of their then employee Cyrus Mistry for decades before making him the head of the groups as a CEO of the Tata Group. Mistry for decades, however, one however the 1 year that Cyrus Mistry was heading the group, the turnover was lesser than the expectations of the board of director. Hence, majorly due to this reason and various other outcomes, which was unfavorable according to the boards and founder, the CEO was replaced within no time. Hence, we can see that the cost of a bad hire is much higher and greater than the retention, and it's always favorable to replace them rather than retaining them. Top management's key skills. Let's look at some of the key skills here: strategic thinking, transparent leadership, collaboration, emotional intelligence, delegation, critical thinking, communication, motivation, making values visible and viral, and the ability to forecast. Here are some of the sourcing tips. Write job ads that treat top talent like customers. Employ the services of executives, search firms, and portals. Conference speakers and relevant co-attendees. Turn previous candidates into a talent goldmine. Email employees copy and paste hiring updates from social media. Employ executive headhunters. Test different locations for your job postings. Blogs and online technical postings as aspirants who are actively participating, etc. Utilize the resources of LinkedIn and connect with TEDx speakers for better exposure and experienced individuals. Internal requirement: assess by predicting the performance within the organization. Conduct various networking and social events to connect and spread the word about the availability. So in here, let's look at some of the ways to assess top management. Evaluate the track record of the prospective suitor. If the candidate is sent through references, then the credibility and the reliability of the source should be authenticated. The achievements of the suitor should be listed out and evaluated. Objectively, measure the top executive's performance and the expectations of the goals and objectives of the board. Retention. So top talent wants top challenges. If not always, it's not really always about the money. Fit the retention tactics to the person. Consider offering sabbaticals. Even the toughest exes are seeking meaningful and worthwhile duties and responsibilities. Now, let's look at an example here where we try to understand how filling a top management position was tackled. This is a study on tuberous sclerosis association. So here is a challenge that presented itself. For more than 30 years, TSA has been researching and helping families affected by tuberous sclerosis complex. It's a genetic condition that can cause tumors to grow in any organ of the body. In all this, though, the charity had largely been running on the founder's spirit of goodwill and tireless work from volunteers. However, when it actually undertook a strategic review of what needed to be done to put itself on a more secure footing for the future, the answer was very clearly that TSA needed to recruit itself its first ever CEO. So clearly, while not all of these were right for the job, some way of establishing who to appoint after after the main whittling down process had become more crucial. So that's when actually the medas got involved. To help TSA to understand the sort of experience, approach, and values that would be more important, and once identified, to decide the most appropriate way of assessing individuals for the said skills or behavior. Mendas designed an interview structure and presentation exercise and also recommended specific ability tests and personality assessments. Even before the 5 shortlisted candidates attended the assessment center, each did an online personality questionnaire followed by an interview with one of the chartered psychologists from Mendas. According to the chairman of TSA, Goldberg, the results from the assessment not only revealed a very clear favorite, but all of the candidates themselves reported how fair the process had actually been. So we've come to the point where we're going to be discussing some mind-blowing recruiting ideas that no recruiter should actually miss. So there's a small warning before we actually proceed. Remember that these mind-blowing recruiting ideas per se range from your regular necessities to extremely crazy and out of the box. You might find some to be serious and some to be funny, but we promise you that they're all here for the sole purpose of making your recruitment easier. Religiously call applicants to ask for reference. Even when applicants turn down an offer, go ahead and ask if they know someone else who might be interested. Sweeten the deal by actually throwing in instant bonus for reference. Keep an eye open for companies who are laying off. Offering help to accommodate displaced employees makes you the knight in shining armor. Promote free training in your ads. Remember, there will be a training in-house, but free as a prefix will mostly just sell about anything. Be where they are. So if you want to meet your ideal candidate, then you should go where they are and do what they do and read what they read. Meet instructors of classes at training institutes, local businesses, etc. So maybe even host a marketing event or a hackathon or an open house in your local colleges. You could organize lunch, etc. This will be a way of positive branding and good word of mouth for your organization. Speak at classes and share your knowledge, quoting on-job experiences, etc. You will earn fans for life here. You can offer free seminars on getting a job, preparing a resume, etc. Putting up testimonials from your interns and your current staff. Now, pretty much, you can actually pretty up the content and, flash it on your company site, talk about it on your social media sites, etc. Keep selling your company. So we now have a candidate-centric market on our hands, and this is very crucial. Go all out to attract interns and students from good colleges. Put in a small coupon or a gift card, etc. for applying. Be respectful of every single applicant, including the ones that don't make the cut. Send monthly relationship builders to all your good exes. Birthday wishes and haven't heard from you lately, are you still interested, etc. It won't hurt to practice this on your current employees as well. Freshers party. So once training sessions are all over, follow it up with a barbecue or a happy hour get together at a local watering hole. Now this will help recruits feel included and actually even reduce the attrition rate. Advertise outside your competitors. So where else could you find a more perfect concentration of your talent pool? Your ad is bound to stir a lot of curiosity here. So that is an added bonus. So today what we've done is we have discussed a lot of things. And to make it easy for you, we have come up with this very doable list of action items that's going to help you kickstart a very successful recruitment process from your end. So here goes. Spend 80% of your sourcing time using high-yielding sources. To connect with top management appropriate candidates and communities should be contacted. Job descriptions should not be too idealistic, neither should your expectations. The goals and objectives should be, mentioned in a very clear and a crisp manner, and it should be very realistic. Retention is one of the most important features which should not be forgotten. The chances that an enterprise needs to do within themselves for better retention of employees should be more focused on. Take time off to try what suits your needs best. Not everything works for every recruiting scenario, and adapting is the key. We hope that you found this webinar useful, and now what we're doing is we're going to be opening the dais for questions. We have our talent acquisition head take them for you. So giving it over to Saurabh.
Thanks, Pooja. So, hello everyone. Hope you are enjoying the session. Our first question is from Madan Taklin, Pune. He says he owns a small startup which requires a web-based application to be maintained. With his technical background, he has a hard time dealing with technical stuff. He tried to hire project managers with suitable tech background, but did find that kind of commitment. Can we help him? All right. Thanks, Madan. That's a very good question. I guess the issue here is not finding the right talent, but getting that commitment that a team leader should have. I would recommend that you should give them some ownership in the company. For instance, a provision of employee stock options might help. So if your employees will have the right feeling of ownership, they're likely to perform better. Moving on to the next question. It is from Ajit, Bangalore. He says he has just began working on his business idea. Can we guide him to find a co-founder? He needs a co-founder who can deal with marketing and sales part of the business, as his primary background is in the field of technology. Ajit. Ajit, in order to find a co-founder, the best way would be to attend the startup meetings and to meet and interact with the entrepreneur enthusiasts. I'm pretty sure that you would find the right kind of associate you're looking for in those meetings. Our third question is from Urvashi, Bangalore. She says they have tried hackathons from different vendors but have not been able to fill their technical profiles. The top performers of the hackathons had the coding skills, but their concepts were dangling. How to find a right match? This is sad to know, Urushi, but I understand what you're trying to say. We faced similar problems when we were hiring for Myntra, but then we found the missing link. Online hackathons shouldn't just contain the coding skills check. Instead, it should be a comprehensive test of abilities. And I'm not sure what kind of assessments did your hackathon include. Let us connect with you offline to address the issue. We would need specific information to address it in a better way. But we can help you fill your positions. All right, I guess that will be all for the Q&A round. The remaining queries will be addressed by our team over email. Over to Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the questions, Saurabh. And as for the rest of you all attending our presentation, we have this really tiny request, and this wouldn't take too much of your time. We are going to be sending across the link to our feedback form on the chat here. Kindly fill it up, for your feedback is extremely valuable, and this will help us in coming up with better content as we move on in the future. Also, we'll be shortly emailing you a link to the second part of the webinar. You remember we had mentioned earlier that we're going to be discussing sales and we're going to be discussing roles on how to hire for clerical roles and how to be hiring for BPOs, etc. So we'll be sending a registration link for that as well, and it'll be amazing if you can register with us for that session. And so yeah, please do take a minute and quickly fill that form for us. And thank you all for participating. And you can feel free to contact Code Ground for any doubts. And if you want to take anything that Saurabh had addressed today forward, and then you can get in touch with me, and then I can help you in that as well. So have a great day and hope this was useful. Happy recruiting you all. Thanks.